Hey people, welcome to Kenneth MoneyMatters. It's a beautiful evening from where I'm standing. You can see behind me is the city of London. Amazing view here. Anyways, it's a nice day. We want to talk about something interesting. You saw from the title of the video, we're talking about buying a new car or a used car. So basically the do's and don'ts of buying cars. I want to buy a Range Rover. I'm going to buy it soon. I'm doing the shopping now, and I don't do it once. I don't do it twice. I don't know how many times I'll do it. But before I settle on which car I really want to buy, I have to do my research well. So I thought, why not talk about this issue? Because all of us buy cars. Everyone wants to own a car at some point in their lives, of course, unless you're an environmentalist who doesn't want to participate in the emissions. But I know most people want to buy cars, and they would like to know what are some of the things you may need to do before you take that serious step. So it's one of those purchases you need to take your time, think about it, talk to people about it, do some research before you make the step to buy the car, so that you do not have to regret your decision. It's a big purchase. It's something you will use almost every single day, and it's something that will be with you for a very long time. So you always have to ensure that you are getting the good deal. So what are some of the things you need to do or not to do when you want to buy a car? I'm going to give several points. So pick what's applicable to you, pick what's applicable in your own situation, pick what's applicable based on what you're buying. Some are buying old cars or used cars, and some are buying new cars, brand new cars from the showroom. And in some countries, we actually don't have new cars as such, so you need to do that research and know that you are not buying a very new car. You're buying a second new car. I don't know how to call it, whatever it is. But always know the source of the car, know the title of the owners, know the history of the car as much as you can. So the first point, what should you do when you want to buy a car? Whether it's new or used car, do your own research. Do not trust salesmen. A lot of us walk into a dealership, and then we want to believe that they are giving us the best deal. These people are trained to do that work. They are trained to work on your psychology, to work on your mental capacity, to work on your emotions, so that you can purchase the car. That's where their bread comes from. That's their job. They are trained to bring you closer and to make you get that car as soon as possible and at the highest price as possible. So always know that they are not there as your friends. They are not there as your parents. They are not there as a mentor or anything. They are there to make money. So however friendly they may be, however nice they may be, their end goal is to make money. So always ensure that you do your own research before making any step. Even if you see a car that you love, do not show emotions and show too much love with it, such that the salesman now wants to give you some excessive deals or bad deals. So make sure you are very composed, you control your emotions, and know what you need to do before you take that car. So the number one most critical point, do your own research and know that the salesperson is right there to ensure they get money, not to be your friend. Number two, what should you do when you're buying a car, whether it's used or a new car? Always remember that there are three salespeople, and they're all meant to get the best out of you. The person you meet at the door is the number one salesperson. The second person is the manager. They will always say, oh, I'm going to call my manager to give you the best deal. And the third person is the finance officer. Now, that's where the money is. That's where you are going to be ripped off. So when you think that the deal is going so well, you meet the salesperson, they work on your emotions, they make you happy, or you want to drive this new car, you're ready to go on the road, you've done the test drive, the Jaguar is comfortable, comfy, luxurious, the system is amazing, your emotions are worked up. The second person you meet will be telling you about the deal. Okay, what do we do? How do we make these finances work for you? Or you tell them, you know what, I only had £5,000, but I don't really think it's going to be enough for this car. But they will tell you, you know what, no, don't worry about it. We have financing option. And they will tell you they will get you the best deal because you know what, you are a very nice person, you are smiling like I am, you are happy. So they'll tell you, I am going to get you the best deal of the year. So let me just talk to my finance officer and see what we can do. So if you can just give me your signature, and then we can get these details as fast as possible. And then you'll be asking, oh, how long will this take? This too long? They'll be telling you, no, don't worry, 5 minutes, you will have done the deal. You have the car, you are on your way home. They will pass you over to the most experienced salesperson, which is the finance officer at the back office. This person will work on your psychological capacity, mental capacity, and emotional capacity to ensure you take that car as soon as possible and at the best price. And they will make you focus on what they're going to make out of the deal and not what you want. So always know there are three salespeople in a car dealership, and all of them play different roles to make sure you get that car. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, they want to make the best deal out of you. Point number three, Before you buy any car, make sure you know the overhead costs of a car. Do not ignore the overhead costs. A lot of people get involved so much with the car. For example, I need a Range Rover right now. It's my dream car. I've been thinking about it for a while. So I go in there, I want to buy it, but I don't look at things like the size of the engine, how much it will actually cost me to take care of the car, what are some of the extra costs like the insurance that will come with it, am I in a position financially to take care of all those costs. So do not ignore the overhead costs of any car. Anytime you're going to buy a car, make sure you understand every single detail about maintaining that car, so that you don't buy a car and end up selling it or end up parking it at the front of the house because you can't afford to run the car. So make sure you know the overhead costs of the car. Number 4, know the budget that you have, and when you have that budget and you walk into a dealership, make sure you stick by it. I know so many people have gone with car shopping and they get to the dealership and they want to buy a car that they really can't afford. So you're speaking to someone, you know how much they were willing to spend, and they get there and then they get so worked up or so happy or so excited, and they just want to spend any money that they don't actually have. So that's the point whereby the salesman will work on your emotions, put you into a payment plan that you didn't plan to have, put you into buying a very expensive car you did not even plan for. So know your budget before you buy the car, and always stick by that budget as much as possible. I'm not saying be rigid, but know that how much can you go over or under. Anytime, it's just like a house. When you're buying a house, you know what's the range within which you can purchase the car. So always know your budget. Point number 5, what should you do when you're buying a car? Now, this is a very important point, especially for Kenyans. We have been taught not to buy new cars. I don't know where that notion came from. I don't know why everyone believes that you need an old car or a second hand, including those who can afford these cars. So what are some of the cons and pros of buying a new or used car? I will go all of that in a different video, but it is important that we get away with this notion that you have to buy a second-hand car. If you can afford a new car, go for a new car, because if you look at the costs, if you do the comparison of maintaining an old car and the risks involved, you are better off with a new car. That's number 1. And number 2, why do you want to buy a new car, an old car, sorry, if you can afford a new car? So ensure that you buy a car that fits well with you. Don't go with the society. A lot of people will tell you, oh, just buy a new used car, just buy a used Range Rover, just buy a used V8. No. If you have been dreaming of buying a new car and you can afford it, it's much easier, and financially speaking, it's more logical and cheaper to maintain a new car. For example, in the UK, you won't have to take your new car for inspection for a number of years. You will not have to go for the regular service as scheduled by the government for a number of years. You only do it based on how you feel the car needs that service. So in this particular case, buying a new car will make more sense than buying an old car. And a lot of times people do not do research, end up with very bad old cars, and they spend a lot of money running and maintaining those old cars instead of buying a new car and being very peaceful. So in terms of energy, in terms of time, in terms of money, buying a new car is a good thing. Let people not tell you not to buy a new car. It's just financial trauma that we have been taught, and we have some funny beliefs around it. And I believe if you need a new car and you can afford it, go for it, as long as you get a good deal. So point number 6, what should you do or not do? Make sure you buy from a dealer if you're buying a second-hand car, because of course the new one will be from a dealer, definitely. But if you're buying a second-hand car and you buy it from a particular dealer, it's much easier to actually trace and to know the details of the car. It's also much easier for you to return the car if it has a problem than if you buy from individual or private people. So if you want, for example, a used Range Rover, for example, go to a Land Rover dealer so that you get it directly from there. They know so much about the cars. They do the tests. Their engineers make sure that it's actually roadworthy before they sell it. So make sure if you're buying a second-hand car, try as much as possible to get it from a dealer. Point number 7, negotiations. Be someone who can negotiate. The negotiation posture, and this is very important. This is about the body posture when you're going to talk to someone. Make sure you're someone who can stand in front of someone and negotiate. Don't sit down. Don't be too woy. Don't be too easy and a pushover. Don't be too relaxed. Have a posture that informs the person that you know what you're doing. This is actually applicable to most ladies. They go there and they tell the salesperson they don't know anything about the car. They don't know anything about what they want. They don't know anything about what they want to buy, and therefore they are taken advantage of. Salespeople can read these kind of postures. They can read your body language. They can read your facial expressions. So if they realize you're a pushover, they will push you over so well, and they will make sure you get a really bad deal for you, but a really good deal for them. So make sure you can negotiate, and you take a posture and a position of a real negotiator when you're going to buy a car. Point number 8, don't give too much information at the dealership. Some people walk into the dealership and they want to say their family, there are 7 people, there are 8 people, this person likes this thing. Don't give too much personal information to these people. They are not your friends, they're not your family. So make sure you give just enough information to help them help you. Most of the time, if you give that information, they use that information to actually play to your emotions, play to your weaknesses, and get you on a good deal. So avoid giving too much information. Some people walk into a dealership and they give too much information, too much personal information about what they want, their likes, their colors. Don't go into that detail. Just tell them what you want and only give necessary information. Point number 9. Don't be too flexible with what you want. If I come from home and I want to go and buy a Range Rover Vogue like I want right now, and I'm going to buy, I'm only going for the Vogue. I'm not going to start thinking of Discovery. I'm not going to start thinking of Defenders. I'm not going to start thinking of Jaguars. I am going for a Vogue. I know why I want it. I've been dreaming about it. So I'm going straight to the workshop to look for a Vogue, because a lot of times they will try to work on your emotions to get something that they have. So if they don't have the Vogue that I want, they may want me to take a Discovery that they have. So I will be buying what they want and not what I want. So that's a very important point. Some people are very, very flexible and I would say not firm. They go to the workshop, they see, to the dealership, they see the Jaguars, the nice Range Rovers, and they came for a Toyota and they want to buy a Range Rover. So don't be someone who is so wishy-washy. Just be very firm and know exactly what you need. And number 10, don't be afraid to walk away from a deal. It's normal. It's actually what is expected. Be ready to walk away. When you set your price, you set what you want, and it is not being offered, walk away from a deal. It is not your business how their business does. Some people always wonder how somebody's business is flourishing. So they start being favorable to the salesman. That's not your business. Walk away from the deal. If the deal is not favorable to you, if the deal is not what you really want, walk away. So always know that you can leave that deal on the table. Don't be manipulated into taking a deal you do not want. For emotional purposes or for whatever purposes, don't be manipulated. Walk away. Point number 11, always sleep on your decisions. What do I mean? I mean that if you decide to do something, it doesn't hurt to take a day or two or a week or a month to think of your decision. It's a big purchase, like I said. It's something you're going to stay with for a really long time. It's something that will serve you. You will use it almost every day. So ensure that you are very sure about your decision. So you sleep on it. Take a day, take 2 days, 3 days. Don't be rushed into making a decision about buying cars. And that's extremely important. Some of us do these things so hurriedly, and then we end up regretting later. And cars are extremely important. When you're buying them, know exactly what you want and be sure of the decisions you make. The final and most important point, make sure that the car is checked by an engineer. So many people ignore this because they trust the dealership, they trust the salesperson. But if your car is not checked by a mechanic, you will have a lot of problems later. And there's no way you can prove to the salesman or the dealership that you did not buy that car when it was okay. So always ensure that you get someone somewhere, do your own checks, be sure if you're buying a second-hand car that that car is right for you and it's roadworthy. So do your research and make sure you buy a good car.
Happy car buying for the first-time buyers and happy purchase. Bye, see you next time.
Please make sure you subscribe, you like, you share, and always leave a comment below. Let me know what you think we should discuss next, and let me know how you want us to do this. This is for you, the viewers. Thank you.